Have you ever opened an HTML file that you were sure was perfect, only to find it looking completely broken, like a puzzle missing half its pieces? It is a common and frustrating experience for anyone working with web pages, especially when things suddenly stop working as expected. Your HTML file is likely not displaying correctly because of issues related to how the browser accesses or interprets its linked resources, such as style sheets, images, or JavaScript files. Simple errors like incorrect file paths, typos in your code, or a browser showing you an outdated cached version are usually the culprits. The core reason this happens is that an HTML file primarily provides the structure and content of a web page. It tells the browser what elements to display. However, the visual styling comes from cascading style sheets, or CSS, and interactive features come from JavaScript files. When your browser tries to load your HTML page, it also attempts to fetch these associated CSS and JavaScript files. If the browser cannot locate these external resources due to an incorrect file name, an incorrect folder path, or if a resource simply does not exist where the HTML expects it to be, the page will appear unstyled or non-functional. To diagnose the issue, a great first step is to carefully check all your file names and their paths. Pay close attention to spelling and case sensitivity, as some web servers treat file names differently than your local operating system. For instance, on some servers, an image named image.jpg is different from image.jpg next. Utilize your web browser's built-in developer tools. You can usually open these by pressing F12 or right-clicking on the page and selecting Inspect. Look at the Console tab for error messages, which often point directly to missing files or code issues. The Network tab will show you if your linked CSS or JavaScript files are failing to load, indicated by a #400 and for not found error. A subtle but powerful tool in debugging is understanding the difference between absolute and relative file paths. An absolute path specifies the full location from the root of your web server, while a relative path describes the location of a file in relation to the current HTML file. Using relative paths like /styles/main.css is often more flexible for development, as it means your page will work correctly regardless of where your project folder is located on your computer or server, as long as the internal structure remains consistent. Ultimately, a correctly displaying HTML page means all its components, the HTML structure, the CSS styles, and the JavaScript interactions, are working together in harmony. By systematically checking your file paths, inspecting browser developer tools for clues, and understanding how browsers fetch these resources, you can quickly identify and fix the problem, ensuring your web creations look exactly as you intended.